Hey everybody, welcome back. Psychic Eric here. Pushing out another video this week. Figured I would sneak back in this week and share more things. I got a vinyl update, 5 LPs, one gifted to me we'll start off with, and then kind of towards the end, kind of veer into some cheapies, and then one big one crossed off the want list. And before we get to that though, sorry about the little delay in videos. The reason for that, but also another reason that I'm pushing the Ghost Riders concept. Ever since I made my comeback video, I've been kind of, pushing to go towards that route and do the Ghost Riders theme, talking about some lost singer-songwriters from the U.S. Individually, some that I've picked up since my comeback, but also stuff in the collection I've had for years, and like to kind of talk about that, sort of like a thread video, you could say. But, oftentimes I shoot these videos after work, like right now, directly after work. And sometimes that's like the best time to record. Otherwise, doing it on like Sunday mornings or, during the weekend, Friday evenings, whatever the case may be. Whenever I'm open. And the last few weekends, I've just been busy going back to my hometown and having people over, staying overnight. I've just been really booked lately. Adjust this light here. Anyways, so yeah, I just keep on delaying it, and I just want the moment to feel right. So I don't want to just kind of jump into it and feel like I have to, be obligated to do so. Just want to kind of slip into it kind of naturally and kind of gently. So yeah, I've had some work done on my vehicle this weekend, and long story, but it was basically the rear main seal to the oil, and you can about imagine how much that's going to cost. So, feeling a little budget friendly this week, definitely feeling a little tightness in the wallet, but that's okay. If you want the whole full scoop, tune into this weekend. Once again, I'm going to try to schedule a live stream this Saturday. I'm going to try to push this video out tomorrow, but that's the plan anyways. I think we're going to do Saturday evening. That seems to be the target date so far. So tune in Saturday. We're going to be doing the Is It Safe? live stream, because as you know, I did tweak a few things on the mixer, and not only that, went back into StreamYard, and I think there was a few things in StreamYard kind of messing with me. So we couldn't get, super clean audio like last time. So I think I fixed it. I've done a couple test videos. So I feel a little more prepared than, say, immediately after that stream, because it's kind of bummed out that it didn't turn out the way I planned it to be, because I try to diagnose and tweak things best I can. So hopefully it's sitting pretty well right now on StreamYard. Well, anyways, with all that said, tune in Saturday. I don't know what the day is, but this Saturday. Halfway through May already. Can you believe it? Almost halfway. So we're going to start off with this one. So I got some VCLT for the first time in like 5 years. It's not really that I expected or anything, but and it's kind of difficult for me because I'm, as you know, a little more selective these days. But I'm getting to know someone better who has been part of the live stream chat. Goes by Travis. He doesn't make videos, as far as I know, but he's been a part of my Facebook group. Follow me on Instagram. He definitely pinpointed this one, looking at my Discogs collection. And even though it's a little spotty and sporadic, some of the stuff I've added in there, I've definitely sold in the past and just been kind of lazy and haven't really removed it from the collection. He pinpointed this one really accurately, because it was one that I had on the want list way early, like maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, maybe even longer. I could just never find this for the right price or right condition. It was just always in between. And yeah, thank you so much, Travis, for being a supporter and checking out my live streams and getting to know you a little better. So this is St. John Green. Look how that pops. Damn. That's a clean cover, man. Yeah, I've been really lacking this one. This is very elusive, filling out the flick disc collection for me. Even though I don't own the American Revolution, it's got 2 or 3 tracks that I do like. And I've seen it around. I've just never picked up on it. It probably wouldn't last long in the collection, but this is kind of the notorious one. And then obviously Boston Tea Party. And that's probably my favorite on the label, even though this has got some great moments. You know, with Kim Fowley's involvement. I know Dom, Seeking a Thread, just did a Acid Archive on this not too long ago. And basically went through the whole story here with, you know, they're based out of the Laurel Canyon scene. And had like connections with Michael Lloyd and Kim Fowley producing this one. So it's got all connections to like the Smoke and West Coast pop art. And that definitely feels like it fits the bill musically. I mean, it's got a lot of spoken word segments, you know, layered on top of this like really organ drenched, kind of demonic sounding, you know, passages moving throughout. So with all that going in, I'd say like the catchier pop hook songs are probably my favorite off of here, which I believe are like Canyon Woman, Goddess of Death, and I want to say Spirit of Now. Kind of like the 3 top tracks for me, but otherwise there is a little bit of silliness. It kind of seeps into the sort of Kim Fowley solo works, if you know what those sound like. You know, stuff like Outrageous. You know, there's a little bit of babbling, a little bit of street preaching kind of stuff on here, street corner preaching going on, and I think it's, you know, not something you want to take too seriously. I mean, I get kind of a kick out of this sort of thing, but yeah, St. John Green, big hole, finally filled in the collection. So, and yes, if you didn't notice, the dragon is holding a little bit of a little tab of acid in his paws there. Crazy cover art for its time. This is definitely what the parents or what the nuclear family would consider as the devil's music back in the day if their kids brought this home. But other than that, you know, I know Kim Fowley's really considered this one of his better productions.
To be a tremendous band. I'm proud of this record. I'm not proud of a lot of them, but this is really something, you know.
Yeah, it came out in '68. I don't know what else more to say other than it's definitely a ear-opening experience for the right listener. So, get a shot of the flick disc label here. Again, thank you so much, Travis, for shipping this one my way. I really do. This is a hard-filed copy. Definitely wanted this for a long time, and I've never seen it in person. If I did, it might have been at one of the record shows many years ago. I think they may have wanted like something like $80. I didn't want to pay that price. So Flick Disc, short-lived, sub-label of MGM, and it's one of those you have to listen to if you're into sort of the exploito style kind of studio project psych. St. John Green. Then moving on, this is one that I had sitting at the shop for a while, and to my surprise, I did not know this had a US release. I thought this was Canadian only. We got 49th Parallel. Look at that cover. Not the best copy in the world, not the cleanest copy. DJ promo copy here. This is also a sub-label of MGM, right? Yeah. What's the label? Maverick, yeah. I do know, I think this is about as pricey as the Canadian pressing, but it's kind of one of those Canadian pop psych pieces that you see floating around. Basically a garage band, but they kind of do, you know, a pretty mid to moderate sort of flowing of styles, going from Baroque pop to a little bit of on the garage note, and then back to more like traditional psych rock pieces. But it's a pretty short LP, only lasts like under half hour long, and I guess I don't know a whole lot about their backstory just yet. Haven't done my review on this yet for the Instagram. But, and the funny thing about this one too, I always get it mixed with their singles compilation that came out in like 2014 from Lion Productions. Both very good in their own way. That's why I get them so mixed up, because they're pretty similar in style. the singles versus the LP. I might even prefer the singles over the studio album. I might have to pick that up down the road. But as I was getting more familiar with it, I was like, well, I remember some of these tracks, like Now That I'm a Man, that it opens up with. But some of the tracks were a little lost on me, so now owning it, I'm trying to get a little more familiarized with this. Kind of a mixture, you know, garage pop psych kind of stuff. A little bit on the classical side, Baroque pop. And, you know, looking at the disc, it's got a lot of like light scratches all throughout, but plays like a solid, you know, VG around there. It's kind of hard to see with that light, but yeah. For the price that I paid, you know, it's definitely not going for super high collector prices just yet with this condition, but yeah, very happy to file this away. Got that. And then, yeah, some 3 cheapies that you can still find for about 10 to 30 bucks. I'm kind of surprised I got this one late in the collection, concerning, you know, that I've known this one for a long time now. This is Madreal on the SSS International label, which I think was a sub-label of the Sun Records, because I think it was based out of Nashville area. I used to have another record on this label. It was like the Apple Core, Peace Apple Core. It's like a black cover with a green apple on it. Well, anyways, I actually thrifted that many years ago. But looking at the cover and stuff, it's, you know, it's a little bit rough. I got this for 10 bucks, and this is one I was pretty familiar with, at least a few tracks. I Believe in Sunshine, which was also done by A Passing Fancy, but I think I much prefer this version. It's a lot classier, a lot richer in quality, a lot more catchier. And this band's definitely vocal driven, harmony pop. Definitely more on the pop rock side. As far as the psychedelic trippy meter goes, it's, you know, mild at best. Definitely focused it a little more on the sunshine pop. But the writing style is very all over the place, you know, very good playing. But some complex arrangements to be found as well. And it might take a little bit to kind of sink in what they're doing. And again, very short LP, like 25, 28 minutes around there. But some highlights. I Believe in Sunshine is probably the most bubblegummy, but I do like it. Picture Frame, Lovely Lady, it's probably my big highlight. The Diddler song. And then, what's the other one? Weekend. That kind of string of tracks, so. Yeah, I think there's like a compilation that was put out recently on CD or something, had their singles as well. And this also had an alternate cover in Canada. It has like one of the band members sitting with a Heinz baked beans, you know, sellout style. So I probably much prefer this cover variation though. I do need, speaking of Madreal, I need the one, Madreal, it's not the same band, but I need that one from, what is it, like the East Coast, like New York City, like the duo, Private Press. I think Subliminal Sounds reissued that. Still lacking a copy. I've been really listening to that one lately too. It's like a drum machine, very primitive sound. You guys know what I'm talking about, you deep cut listeners. Here's a shot of the label. It's kind of a cool label there. Yeah, about a solid VG. It's playable. This next one, this is one that I got along with Kangaroo record that I picked up. This is one that I got reacquainted with. I knew there was definitely a couple heavy tracks on here, and listening back to it probably doesn't hit me as hard as it used to when I first gravitated towards this. This is Brother Fox and the Tar Baby. I forget what that reference is. I think it's like an old poem or something that it's referring to. This is basically post front page review out of Boston, out of Bosstown Sound, which had Steve Cadaldo, who'd do St. Stephen on the Probe label. He's not on this one, but I think 4 of the members from front page review Mystic Soldiers era are featured on here, and it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, it doesn't really sound like them, but they kind of definitely progress their sound in a way too. Interesting thing with this one, it's a punch out, but also it's got a stamp here that says Virgin Islands Broadcasting Corps. So it must have been played down in the Virgin Islands. And of course it's not focusing. Imagine that. Capital label. I don't think it made my top capital list, and it's no surprise there. So for the highlights, Steel Dogman. That's a heavy cut, man. I really love that one the most. I don't know what to compare them to. Maybe Sons of Chaplin, or like a heavier Grand Funk in some spots, maybe. It's kind of hard to pinpoint, but the weak link with this one, I'm not a real fan of the vocalist. He kind of reminds me of Power of Zeus a little bit. Not really big on those vocals. But yeah, the highlights, Steel Dogman. I would say Mr. Sleepy is kind of a fan favorite, turns out. And then I would say the last track, Crazy John, as well. It's a little bit of like kind of a weird mixture of like string arrangement, pop stuff, a little bit of a rural tinge, but also kind of hard rock. It's kind of like they can't figure out what direction to go, but the strong tracks are strong, but it's pretty inconsistent as a whole, I would say. As far as the flow is concerned, maybe get a little better of a view of the stamps there, maybe. Maybe not. Anyways, Virgin Islands. I mean, that's kind of cool. Never seen that before. On a green, lime green capital. Oh, and I shall also mention this is a repress. That was actually kind of independently pressed elsewhere, and then Capitol picked it up the following year in 1970. So this was recorded in '69. So still kept the same cover art, which is pretty iconic. And then finally, closing off with this one. This is one that actually settled with me pretty well. I knew like a couple tracks from this, but otherwise it kind of felt kind of flat, you know, had some kind of lightweight pop tinges to it, but again, for $5-10, I'd take a chance on this again. This is Sideshow. It's kind of one of those one and done records that you see floating around, maybe even in the $4 bin. And as you can see the track listing there, just singular names: Joanna, Jinx, Supper, Rooster, Joe, Carolyn, The Pill, The Duel. So it's like, what's going on here? And this guy's carrying the the Sideshow attraction. So the lead guy here, I forget his name. Maybe it's on the insert here. He's like the main playwright. Let's see here. Yeah, Paul Giovanni. Yeah, that's who it is. He's kind of like the lead playwright, lead showman here. Look at this insert with the lyrics. Almost like a film reel. Some photographs in the studio. And this is like a one and done project. So Paul Giovanni, he's most notable for doing the arrangements for the Wicker Man soundtrack. That was kind of his claim to fame, and he did a lot of stage show work prior to this, and he was like pushing 40 at this point. I think he's like 38, 37 around there. It's this gentleman here. And I think he did some acting later on too, but this is like his only produced record, as far as I know. White label promo. And you definitely see more promos of this than stock copies. I mean, that tells you right there, man. This one just really tanked when it came out. I mean, who wants to listen to Sideshow? Isn't so that appealing. Atlantic Records. And as I stated before, this one really grew on me. As far as the trip meter goes, again, the trip meter aspect, it's got at least like 2 to 3 cuts that qualify as sort of that late night kind of drifting kind of psych pop appeal, sort of in like the vein of like the Common People sort of area. And those tracks are like Carolyn, Joanna, and I would also throw in The Duel as the 3 tracks. But I also really was surprised how good Cold Coffee was. The voice can be a little corny at first because it sounds like a 38-year-old singing. But it landed pretty well. I was like, man, how did that not become a hit? Because I love the piano work. I love the chorus and just where it takes you. But yeah, they had no singles either after this one. So it's kind of baffling to me. It sounds like they threw a lot of money into this project. But you get a little bit of everything here in the sort of pop rock mold. You get some flashes of that acid rock guitar and a lot of like progressive, sort of Broadway. I don't want to scare anyone when I say that Broadway play sort of writing here, but it's not like over the top. It's kind of just like sprinkled within. But I would give this a listen if you're adventurous out there and you want to pick up on something that's sort of on the cheap end. Certainly a grower. So Sideshow. And that's going to wrap this one up. So thanks again for tuning in. Oh, I should also mention, my Sorcerer t-shirt. Someone was mentioning in the comment section about the poster in the background. Yeah, it's kind of moving posters around again. You can see the Pink Floyd of Pompeii there. And I decided to wear this because I was telling the guy who just stumbled across my channel, said, oh man, I dig that Sorcerer poster. And I was telling him, yeah, I'm a bit of a Sorcerer completist or Sorcerer collector of sorts because, yeah, that movie turned me on to like a whole whirlwind of like 70s classics. And, if people can collect Star Wars, because Star Wars pretty much dumped that one into the water, then I'm going to be a Sorcerer collector, Sorcerer completist. Because, yeah, apparently there's a Criterion Collection DVD or Blu-ray coming out that I may even pick up on. That's how much I dig it, man. I got the LP, I got the VHS, t-shirt, original poster. I got like 2 Blu-rays of it because one was actually not given back to me. That's saying something. They want to keep that. So then I actually found like copies here in town, and then I actually found the like 98 DVD of Sorcerer, which not really recommended. But yeah, anytime I see it out there, I'm going to pass it along to someone because they need to see it. Sorcerer fucking rules, man. Yeah, with that said, tune in this Saturday for my live stream if you want to hear all about my oil leak. That sounds weird. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you think of my finds. We shall see you soon.